He's not well to speak the way he's speaking. He's not well. He's using battery. It's not normal. A man who is using battery and a man who has a natural heart, compare the two. So Joseph Boyka, the former vice president, speaking, he's using battery. He's a battery total. Such a man cannot even be president of this country. He said, so maybe that the frustration making to speak the way he did, calling the president boy. So Joseph Boyka, the former vice president, speaking, he's using battery. He's a battery total. Such a man cannot even be president of this country. He said, so maybe that the frustration making to speak the way he did, calling the president boy. So Joseph Boyka, the former vice president, speaking, he's using battery. He's a battery total. Such a man cannot even be president of this country. He said, so maybe that the frustration making to speak the way he did, calling the president boy. How many million people voted that boy? So many millions. Look at this boy and you letter him. Maybe you call Joseph, Joshua boy because of the age, because Joseph Boyka is over 70 and this boy is about 50 something. So when you say boy, well, that's it. But boy in the sense of immaturity, no. Joshua is mature. He's mature. That's why he told Joseph Boyka on the ground where he collapsed to fly here, bro, for medical checkup, for medical heart surgery. That's what made him to live today. I think Joseph Boyka, in conclusion, should be very grateful to that boy who flew him out of the country for open heart surgery that make him to live today. But the way Joseph Boyka speaks, the way he acts, he is one of the 9 ungrateful lepers. The fact is, you could have know you, but he did not. He saved this old man. But what the old man is returning is ungratefulness. Call this president boy. You call the whole Liberian president boy, then you old man, you told him battery around here. But I cannot look at a battery man and he let you. Because any minute you could collapse. But you always say you want to be president, and we know your record. You're on the time bomb, on the borderline.
Just sitting and laughing, I'm reading the comment section. John Balu said, the reason why he's in this is to save the state. Save Liberia. But Senator Balu was senator when in his county, 5 wonderful Liberians gruesomely murdered. Their bodies were mutilated. He didn't say anything. A colleague who was then a senator, whose name is enshrined in the TRC report, whose testimony you can find everywhere, that allegedly carried out a massacre on the Kavala River, became a senator from in jail. He came from jail. That case died in Maryland. Senator Balu was senator. Senator Balu was senator when Kid Juba was killed. Senator Balu was senator when the Fuller man was beheaded in River G. Senator Balu was senator when the 17 young men were killed between Lower Magidi and Grand Bassa County. Senator Balu was senator when one of the people who funding all of his effort was giving Intergenet Hosmer money and squash car to lobby for him to move on traveling ban and access free. But today, he said he wants to save the country. Senator Balu was senator when Bridgeway from London came to do prospect in Liberia. Senator Balu then got vehicle and money.
Balu na Brian the senator.
If we thought of saving Liberia then, sometimes some people sit on a particular platform, and this is the reason why the argument is going to get beat this few times. Because look,
I don't think I can do this. It's against my faith. I can
just vote a criminal because he learned at $3.6 million now in the budget. He can't take me anywhere. I will publish no checks before. He denied a signature on those checks. Because some of you voted for these thieves. Okay?
I can
come and stand in front of me and say Representative Grace misleading the public. It's a disservice to you. And you must hold their feet to the fire because some of you voted for these thieves. Okay? The House Donor is a thief. It's a thief. I'm telling you, it's a thief. Anybody who lie on what you talk, he had checked here. We published no checks before. He denied a signature on those checks. Before 2020 campaign. He's a common criminal. I'm saying that to you. He's a common criminal. That's the budget he voted for. He's a criminal because he lied at $3.6 million now in the budget. He can't take me anywhere. I defy him. That's a criminal. No, I'm not angry. I'm being forceful. I'm being intellectual. I'm too.
Maibuye! Liberia! Maibuye! Liberia! Liberia! Maibuye! Liberia! Maibuye! I'll say! Munya! CDC Munya! Blole! CDC Blole! Jaja! CDC Jaja! Amanda! Awetu! Amanda! Awetu! Maibuye! Liberia! Iliberia.
Maibuye.
Iliberia.
Maibuye.
Ause. Ause. Munya. Munya. CDC Munya.
Munya.
Blole. Blole. CDC Blole.
Blole.
Jaja. Jaja. CDC Jaja.
Jaja.
Amanda.
Awetu.
Amanda.
Awetu.
Maibuye.
Iliberia.
Maibuye.
Iliberia.
Iliberia.
Maibuye.
Iliberia.
Maibuye.
Ause. Ause. Munya. Munya. CDC Munya.
Munya.
Blole. Blole. CDC Blole.
Blole.
Jaja. Jaja. CDC Jaja.
Jaja.
Amanda. Amanda.
Awetu.
Maibuye.
Iliberia.
Maibuye.
Iliberia.
Iliberia.
Maibuye.
Iliberia.
Maibuye.
Ause. Ause. Munya. Munya. CDC Munya.
Munya.
Blole. Blole. CDC Blole.
Blole.
Jaja. Jaja. CDC Jaja.
Jaja.
Amanda.
Awetu.
At the height of the war, George Weah did come back, welcomed as a conquering hero. He supported the national soccer team with over $2 million of his own money. As a player and coach, he led the Lone Star to within one win of a World Cup berth in 2001, reviving the pride and hope that had been lost in Liberia for over a decade.
Starting together, you have to finish it.
The team served as a unifying force in that time. Rebel groups, warring factions. Whenever Lone Star was playing, we stopped fighting and then just go to the TV and do the radio.
But the war continued. Still, Weah did not retreat to the safety and celebrity of his athletic life. The world's greatest striker stayed home and made peace his priority.
George Weah kept sport prevailing, no matter what was happening in Liberia. And he knows that he has a chance, with his international stardom, to actually keep the focus here for us a bit longer.
In December of 2003, a truce was declared, and Weah's efforts in Liberia have extended to saving lives.
We got to have a building for the children to go to school.
He now continues his struggle to restore the country, one child at a time.
Be with them, live with them, eat with them, play with them. I will know exactly what is going on. This is reality. I can run for reality. Every Liberian loves sports. So I know sports can play a vital role in our peace process, and sports can help to discipline the kids, to unify them. There you go.
Soccer, there's reconciliation. That you can work out aggression, you can work out competition, but you do it within a loop.
Iliberia.
Maibuye.
Iliberia.
Maibuye.
Ause. Ause. Munya. Munya. CDC Munya.
Munya.
Blole. Blole. CDC Blole.
Blole.
Jaja. Jaja. CDC Jaja.
Jaja.
Amanda.
Awetu.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Good morning, good evening. Oh, what a pleasant way to welcome you to the Tuesday's edition of the program Freedom Hub, right here on 87.9. It is a rainy day in Monrovia. Yes, the weather is kind of wet. Monrovia is kind of wet. It is cloudy in Monrovia. A pleasant welcome to Freedom Hub on 87.9. Too many things happening in this country, especially when Liberia and Liberians are into the period of political campaign. Today, the president of Liberia, His Excellency Dr. George Weah, toured District Number 8. When Moses Akaras Gray, the lawmaker of District Number 8, welcomed the president, who made a stop at the Nezado Market, the Rally Time Market, and later on at the Slipway football pitch in Slipway community. There, right by the Bourgeois Island, the Providence Island, as a matter of fact. There are too many things happening in the country. A lot of issues going on. Politics has taken a different shape in Liberia, and the battle for supremacy is on. Liberians are kind of interesting set of people in the country. When you support this side, you are branded as a patriot. When you support this side, they call you a saint. When you support this side, they call you a messiah. When you support the other side, they say you are a criminal. You sell your birthright. You got no future. And all of the different negative things will be said about you. Today, on this platform, we intend to look into all of the major issues happening in the country, especially with the campaign ongoing. And Liberians are kind of confused with the level of representative candidates across the country. That same will apply to the level of senatorial candidates. And the presidency will be somewhere around 20 Liberians are opting to become a president. At the same time, 20 Liberians will also want to ensure that they will also want to ensure that they're going to be contenders for the vice presidential slot. Whichever way it is going to end, whatever the outcome will be, our job on this platform is to create the environment where Liberians will be given the opportunity to make decisions from an informed perspective. We will bring you all of the politicians under the spotlight. We'll tell you why we think of a particular politician in a particular way. We will also tell you why we think of Mr. President in the way we think of him, and what should be the decision of the majority of us as Liberians. That's the conversation. Too many things happen in the country. And so I see my brother KC W, a Liberian musician, is under fire. You have a lot of people breathing down on KCW because W chose to support the president. That conversation is also important. There are more influential individuals who have their political sides. And when these people are being fought, when they are being heavily criticized, when they are being dealt with, inappropriately, it is essential that people like us bring those kind of conversations to the table so that Liberians who also have their own personal views, their views and choices on issues, will not be deterred by these kind of ugly attitudes. The attitude of you criticizing somebody you breathing on them because they made a particular political decision. Yes, to the extent that you will, you will negatively criticize them. That is the conversation. We talk all of the issues about the campaign. The trip with the president and Moses Gray, the representative. And trust me, everything you need to know about the campaign at about this moment will form the basis of the conversation in the next 1 hour. 1 hour 44 minutes. And let's have a conversation where we take a few bars of our team song. We have words from our sponsor, Crime Stoppers Liberia. We're going to be running deeply into the issues right here on 87.9.
Stopping crime and make a peace for them before. Stop Liberia, from the center to interior. Keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own self-movement, Omen Sam Sign.
Bringing safety to your door. Stopping crime and making peace for them before. Stop Liberia, from the center to interior. Keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all. The people bringing safety to your door. Stopping crime and making peace for them before. Stop Liberia, from the center to interior. Keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all.
Okay, so welcome back to the program Freedom Hub on 87.9, the official voice of Freedom Communications Incorporated. My name is Kai. I'm here today on a lone presentation when Monrovia is kind of wet and cloudy. And there are 2 minute things to talk about. We're here on this platform. But here is it. So the country is becoming tense bit by bit. And I mean from a political perspective. The country is becoming politically tense. And all that we wish for as citizens of the country, all that we wish for as citizens of the country is for the process to be free, to be fair, peaceful, without violence. And those are things that Liberians will crave for. But until we reach to that point, let us have this conversation on the current political stuff in country. Before we proceed, I got informed this morning, and Liberia as a country got a terrible news regarding the passing of Senator Daniel Nathan of Bapolu County. And so the chairman of the ANC party chairman, Senator Daniel F. Nathan, according to what we learned, has died. And so that is a sad news for the Alternative National Congress, Mr. Cummings and his political party. It is sad news for Bapolu County and the people of Bapolu. Their senator is no more. And so we just thought to mention that. This morning, the news broke up. We also follow a live press conference that was held at the headquarters of the ANC, also validating what was initially announced by some media entities across the country. So Senator Daniel Flomo Nathan is no more. This will bring um, to book two members of the legislature who have passed as a result of illnesses and whatever. So earlier on, Representative Hinch Bashu from Brambassa County also passed up. Today, it is the case of Senator Daniel Nathan of Bapulu County. So the House of Representatives and the House of Senate, the both houses will go through a period of bereavement as some of their colleagues will be going for, their re-election bid in their respective districts and counties. So it is a sad thing for Bapulu County, and I just hope the Nathan family will take solace in God Almighty, so that in the end they could have some consolation. But that is what it is. So Bapulu County is bereaved. The ANC is bereaved. The Liberian Senate is bereaved. The Liberian legislature is bereaved. And the Liberian government is also bereaved. And so that is what it is. If we might extend that, it means the Republic of Liberia is bereaved on today's date. So that is just that. Now, on yesterday, we witnessed the arrival of the standard bearer of the Unity Party. So Mr. Bwaka arrived in the country yesterday evening. So the questions we've been asking, those questions were answered when he arrived on yesterday. So that is the information we needed to let you know about. The reason we were concerned was because the party earlier on told us that he would have been in country on the 4th. And so when the 4th came and passed, the 5th came and passed, the 6th came and passed, on the 7th, we needed to raise the issues so that Liberians will be informed as to the status of the former vice president. But thankfully, he was able to return yesterday, and so the political game is now on. We can go about doing the politics as usual. Now, the next thing we're talking about on the platform today is this issue that has to do with a perception that is growing outside the corridors of this country. I mean, there is this attitude where people will curse the living hell out of you, where people will threaten your life, where they will say all of the nasty things about you only because you choose to support a particular political side. The politics of the day should not be about those issues. We're into campaign, and for some of us who are political commentators and analysts, our job is to help inform the people of our country so that we don't create a situation that could escalate things into an unfavorable environment for all of us. People should stop insulting other people because they choose to support a particular candidate or a particular political party. Now, you know why? Now, you can tell me why this person is not, better off. You can tell the person why you think the person is not okay to be president or to be vice president, why they're not okay to be senator. But to go and look at an individual and say, because you're supporting the man, you will not make it in life. In fact, you got no plan for your future. You are an idiot. You are this, you are that. That conversation is uncivilized. It is unhealthy. And I think this country and people in this age and day, we should not be involved with those kinds of issues. There is a Liberian musician by the name of KC Debut. And I just hope I will have a song, by him, KC Debut song. We want to play the song. Let's see if my producer can bring something from KC Debut. Yes, let's see if we can have something from him. I mean, okay. So I think this is one of the songs. Yeah. So this should be okay. Now, KCW announced his support for the re-election bid of the president. Let me repeat. KCW is a Liberian musician. I mean, a famous musician for that matter in Liberia. The man announced his support for the re-election of Mr. President. What did we see happening in the country? The man announced his support for the president on social media, on Facebook to be exact. You find people in the country cursing the people's son. That's why your music not going nowhere. You belly driven, you are this one, you are that one, and saying all kinds of negative things about the man. There is no law that stops anybody from supporting a political side. Human by nature got some political tendency. Your decision to say, I can't drink liquor because liquor not good, that's politics all by itself, because those who drink liquor, they see you as somebody who against their interest. Your decision to say, I can't smoke, smoking a bad thing, that decision by itself is political because it is against what other people believe to be good. Man, by nature, the fact that you say, I am going to attend Methodist Church, I will not go to Catholic Church, you made a political decision. This conversation, we can expand it another day to have that whole long conversation. It is subject to a debate, though, and I'm prepared any day. But I'm saying to you, by the choices we make, automatically makes us, how you call this thing, politicians by ourselves. Casey simply decided to announce that he supports the re-election bid of the president. The people cursing the people's son. Now, the only reason why they are cursing him is because the person he said he is supporting is George Weah. Simple. Had Casey announced somebody else other than George Weah, I am not sure he would have been beaten the way he has been beaten at the moment on social media. And that is the hypocrisy in this country that needs to stop. But for me, I'm not surprised. You know why? Because in this country, the Liberian society, especially a group of self-seeking Liberians who see themselves to be the super Liberians, for them, ever since 2004, for them, they see we are as a non-presidential material. Hello? There are Liberians in this country who pride themselves with the notion that Liberia belongs to them and them alone. And so if it has nothing to do with their kind of citizens, or if it has nothing to do with people in their cycle, once it is about we are, irrespective of the outcome or the odds, whatever the situation may be, they just do not see it appropriate. There are Liberians like that. And that is something that we know for a fact. And so for me, I am often not surprised when good people are being abused on a daily basis, not for anything, but because they decided to have an alignment with Mr. President. Then it brings to mind a very important question. Why the hate? Because it is not about governance. Why the hate? Because this is just pure hatred, right? These same individuals, I'm going to go to the KCW issue. These same individuals wanted the president to bring war crimes court in the country, Almost every day they were sponsoring protest action in the country. We want war crime code. We want war crime code. The people who died during the war, they need justice. Those who died during the war, there should be justice for them. Justice for the war victims. Justice for this other massacre. Justice for the other massacre. We need to ensure that all of the rebels are brought to book and accountability. They preached accountability in this country when we have become president. They tormented the Williams administration to bring war crimes code, not because they genuinely and sincerely need a war crimes code, but because Prince Johnson was a supporter of President Weah. And because they thought that support of President Weah will give the president an added advantage in his presidential re-election bid. And so what they thought to do was to embarrass the country from time to time and keep pushing the war crime code issue with Johnson, Prince Johnson. Today, Prince Yomi Johnson is no longer supporting the president. The guys who were causing noise in this country about war crime code on a daily basis, we can hear one of them, from Dawes Delon to Yombli Kanga Lawrence, from Mo Ali to Bwaka Jaliba, from Kolinya Kratoba to the rest of the individuals in the Unity Party, including the Joe Bwaka man himself. Not a single day have we heard the guys talk about the importance of bringing war crimes to the country. You know why? Because one man who was supporting the president, who they felt if war crime code is established, he's going to be prosecuted and sent to jail. And so because he was supporting the president, they felt that it was important to have the code established at that moment. Now that he is no longer supporting the president, and he is no longer a political threat to them, the need to have war crimes code is no longer important. In fact, they have forgotten to know that we still have war victims who are yearning for justice. That is hypocrisy. That's the same thing they're doing to KCW. That's the same thing they're doing to KCW, the musician. When they had Sonaga Diabo supporting them, 2005 and 2011, nobody in the country told Sonaga Diabo that his musical career would die because he supported Joe Bwaka during the 2 elections. Nobody said that. Grand Bassa County is where Sonaga Diabo is from. The 2 separate elections, Sonaga Diabo supported the Unity Party of Joe Bwaka in 2005 and 2011. Councillor Bronskin, peace to his ashes, was the political godfather of Grand Bassa County. Sonaga was a Bassa man supporting the Unity Party as a musician. Not a single day did the Bassa people say, don't come to Bassa or don't bring a Bassa song to us because you support a candidate who is not from our political alignment. Because, you know, Grand Bassa County, during the days of Councillor Bronsky, when he was alive, was a Bassa-based political party. That is something you can take away from the political stacks of the country. Sonaga practiced his career in this country peacefully. When it was time to support the campaign, you know, of the Unity Party with Joe Bwaka into the process, he was always available to contribute his quota. When it was time to go and sing the Beje song in Grand Bassa County, the Grand Bassa people, the Liberian people who accept him, I heard seditions singing to the Sonaga Diabo songs. I heard, Liberians celebrated Sonaga Diabo, and they had no issues with his political involvement. Now, what the hell you will have people bringing down a young man, saying demeaning things about his career because his only crime is to support Weah. Now, I am listing a lot of issues that professional people, innocent people have encountered, not because of the substantive nature of those issues, but because of their aligning, connection with the president. I brought you to Prince Johnson, who I told you about Sonaga Diabo. Casey, the way you now, and you got the whole opposition people, including all of their writers on social media, saying all kinds of nonsense about the ball. How the ball missed a career end. I mean, his son is not even fun. In fact, you'll not go anywhere in life. He ain't got no future ahead of him. This is bad. The same way they were insulting Prince Johnson here with the president. Today, they're calling a sin. The man who they were calling rebel murderer today, that man is being a classical example of that issue is Senator DeLong. There were days when Prince Johnson is entering the session the chambers of the Liberian Senate. By the time Prince Johnson entered the main door, you will hear DeLong yelling, "Walk Cranko." Today, when Prince Johnson is entering, DeLong can be calling the man, Nima One, political godfather, our leader. That is how hypocritical Liberians are. And that is the deceptive nature of the opposition's campaign that for us we see as a dangerous indicator for anybody wanting to ascend to national power, because you should be able to stand by what you say. If Prince Johnson was supposed to go to jail in 2021, in 2022, in 2019, 2018, by this time, even with me supporting you on your campaign team, you should also be making the call. Then we know that it was never about an individual, but the Liberian people's interest. Today, the very Liberian people who they said were crying, who they said, their relatives were not resting in the grave good, those Liberians are still watching. They are no longer concerned about the Liberian people, cries and aspiration for war crime code, because the quote-unquote war criminal who was a target is now in bed with them. That is how hypocritical people are. KCW is suffering today because his only crime he committed was to look among the 20 presidential candidates and said to himself, I would choose Mr. President because in my mind, he has done a lot with the limited time he had to govern this country. Casey, what you said, the president has 6 years. Out of 6 years, coronavirus took 2 years. In the two years apart, the president only have 4 years to operate. In 4 years' time, he provided free tuition to our people attending public universities. In 4 years, he was able to ensure that nobody paid YF fees in this country, although the benefits spread over to five different years because people are going to school. He took good 4 working years to ensure that milestone projects were achieved, including taking road to the very vice president, the former vice president's home county, Lofa, taking roads to Lofa. Casey may have done all of the assessment and told himself, in the midst of all of these difficulties and challenges and prospects we have as a country, I think is the best option. That's the only crime Casey DeWitt committed. Because he did not say I will support Joe Blow, because he did not say I will support this other person, he became an enemy to the country. When you're supporting they say you are an enemy to the country. But the thing is, what have they done? And so that's not going to be the name of the conversation. But the fact that you saw people beating on him, saying the worst things about the man, and I said, we got to encourage ourselves. You know why? Because from the day one we are thought of becoming president of this country, there were Liberians, and there are still Liberians who have the notion that the Liberian presidency should not be given to a weir. So even though he is projecting something that will benefit them, but because he is attached to it, they will throw it away. Oh no, I'll give you a case study. The president came in 2020 and said, let us ensure that Liberians who were born here in Riverside, Maryland, Grand Bassa, who were born in Nimba and Bapolu, Bon County, but they went to America, they go to Australia, they go to Canada, and they became citizens in Canada, citizens in America, citizens in Australia, but they still want to hold their Webman citizenship, they hold their Liberian citizenship. Let me the law. Let go to referendum. You're going to say yes. Both of those people are aware that they have family people in America who will still want to maintain their Liberian citizenship. The same with Canada, the same with all over the world. But because that projection came from WEA, because it was a WEA's idea to say, oh no, we can be in Liberia, and some of our brothers and sisters who went to Oslo and they managed to take our citizenship, they won't come out, they got to get visa to come to their own country. It should not be the case. Let them just get their passport like any other Liberian will do and return to their country without paying any visa fees. Because it came from George Weah, we saw this same opposition community telling people to vote no against all of the propositions in the referendum. Now, you can hate somebody to the extent that that hatred will affect something that's supposed to benefit you. That is what we've witnessed. In the KCWE situation, there are Liberians in the opposition who used to dance to KCWE songs. You check their telephones, most of them have KCWE songs downloaded in their phone. When you check their Google search history, you will understand that a lot of them have browsed the internet, they've searched for KCWE videos, they've listened to his music, they've watched his videos, they've contributed to it by whatever means. But because he is supporting the president, they start bad-mouthing him. Now, why will you hate somebody to the extent that you allow that hatred to affect your own personal mental health? To keep doing those things, to keep doing it, is to push the country backward. You're not playing politics. What you're what you're putting is pure hatred. I see the little children who support the president on Facebook, the TikTokers for Weah, daughters of Weah, this other one for Weah. The young people who are supporting the president, I find people on social media every day causing the people cheering. You don't got future for yourself. You don't got, but let's have the conversation. A young person is supporting the president because, in his or her opinion, this is the man who has provided opportunity for them to leave high school without contributing to the payment of the fees for an examination that will determine whether a person is qualified to leave high school. You're telling that kind of person, say, don't vote for Weah. For you to vote for Weah, it means you're stupid. Somebody who Weah paid their wire fees, and when they went to public university, Weah paid their school fees, and that same person is standing around to support the president. You look at them and say the person is stupid for supporting the president. When the president is aware that he has been able to do something that affected them directly and indirectly, yet you see those things as nothing, but because you hate him to the letter, you see any affiliation with him as a problem. You go to Casey, costing the people some for nothing. I mean, that's pure nonsense. That's not politics. That's not politics. The same rubbish is happening in the Liberian media. And we told you that election time for us, we are not afraid of anything anymore. The same nonsense is happening to the Liberian media. There are journalists in this country, and I'm saying this without fear nor favor. There are media people in this country who we know where they can go beg for money to government officials. We know. Oh no, we know the information. There are Liberian journalists in this country who are living on the pockets of officials of government. But you know why? Those fools can look at us and brand us as join the list. And I said to myself, I said, the difference between you and I is that for me, I am open with my commitment and my support. For you, you are a coward. You go undercover. You extort money from people. You do things under financial inducement, and you hide under the umbrella of independence. For me, I'm a Grebo man, and Grebo people are taught not to be schemers. We were taught to fight with our bare hands. We don't fight behind the scene. No. I support you now. Be honest, say independent a lot. The whole Liberia is aware that I support George Weah for the presidency. The whole country is aware. Oh yes. Can a journalist have a side in politics? Oh yes, go to Google and read something to call political journalism. When you're done with it, go and read something to call advocacy journalism. Then you will look at how we present our shows here on Freedom Radio Liberia, and you can have your answer to yourself. The world is evolving. Before, people were using cassette where they can put finger inside and returning it. Later on, people start using CDs. Today, you don't need CDs. You just need one pen drive. Today, the pen drive is not even useful anymore because you have smart televisions that you can just go to Google, go to Netflix, and watch movie online. The things that were happening way back, Those things are no longer happening. Media practitioners can have their involvement in politics. It is no crime. But the silly part of it is to see media practitioners who are direct supporters of the opposition political parties looking at my man Austin, looking at Sekou, and looking at other people in the country and branding them as whatever demeaning thing they want to say. Yeah, you brand your colleagues because they openly choose to support the president, but you are undercover supporting the opposition or political institution. We know that. And so when I look at them, I just laugh. I said, these are cowards. When they call themselves men, they have their shows. We have our shows. They have their pen. We have our pens. They have their radio stations. Come out, open it, and tell us you support whoever you support. Let the conversation begin. If this musician had gone to support Waka, for example, they would have branded him as the best musician in the country. Oh, yes, they would have done so. Only because he chose to support Weah. They did the same nonsense when the Lone Star of Liberia, the national team, will always have a game under the Weah's administration. You find people on social media, oh, let them be Lone Star, let them be Liberia. When Liberia wins, Weah will celebrate. What the hell? If Lone Star wins, it has no personal bearings on George Weah as an individual. You are a Liberian, for God in heaven's sake. You celebrate the country defeat because in your mind, if the country succeeds, that will add to the achievement of the president. So you don't want to see it. You don't like that. So Lone Star is playing football. Lone Star is playing other countries. Instead of Liberians supporting, you will find Liberians outrightly rejecting. In fact, wishing for Liberia to be defeated because in their mind, if Liberia wins the game, George Weah will take the glory. See how naive we are, and we think we hate Weah, right? When you do that, you think you hate George Weah as an individual. When you do that, you are only demonstrating how unpatriotic you are and why Liberians should not even entrust you with power because you are a one-sided thinker. When some people make decisions on the basis of their conviction, leave them alone. If you want to argue with them on the issues. But to go to the extent of passing judgment, you fake musician. And the sad part of it is that when people like us do our opinion posts on social media, oh yes, an opinion journalist has the authority to opinionate on political issues. That's his opinion. That's why we told you to read about advocacy journalism, to read about political journalism and other kinds of journalism. There are over 6 major kinds of journalism. Go and read about it. Forget all that old curriculum. We will still use it because that's what we have at the moment. But if we decide to evolve with other countries around the world, a lot of people will not even be talking about other things we have here. You go to America, the editorial policy of Fox News Network are purely tailored on the Republican Party. When you go to CNN, you talk nonsense about the Democrats. Oh yeah, you better be strong because if you're not strong, you won't survive that argument. An advanced country like America is doing it. We are modeled after them. It is only when you will find a bunch of fools. Some of our own colleagues in the media who we know supporting opposition parties, but they are afraid to come out because maybe they don't have what it takes to project the image of those who they support. For us, we believe that the president is not doing anything. He's not doing everything 100%. We know that. We know that the country is heavily challenged in several areas. We know there are more roads that should be built in this country. We are cognizant of the fact that a lot needs to be done in the educational sector. We are aware that all of the sectors in this country, especially with a country around 176 years of existence, we all know that not all is roses. Everything is not bread and butter in the country. But in the midst of the complex, challenges confronting the country, we have also recognized the tremendous effort being made towards ensuring that these structural issues are adequately addressed. It is on the basis of those issues that we at this platform, and most of us on other friendly radio stations have made up our minds to project a positive image of Liberia through the elevation of the WIA's campaign policy, through the elevation of the WIA's governance policy, through the elevation of the WIA's agenda for Liberia, so that in the end, Liberians can see what we see, Liberians can feel what we feel, and Liberians can understand at which pace the country is about to go. It is when you find fools. The beginning of Freedom Event, beginning of King's Event, the beginning of Banner Event, the beginning of Voice of Liberia, they are this one, that one, but go check it out. And that's what I'm saying to you. The next time I see somebody, I ain't saying any other media male, the next time I see media men who always criticize us, the next time I see the one office go big for money, I'll take a picture, I'll take a video and post it. I know someone coming start doing it now. And that's when you understand. No, so it should not be about the person's decision to support one person. No. It should not be. It should not be. Can't see the way you committed no crime to support the president. No. He's a Liberian. He's a musician. Also, he should not support the president. He should not. Because he's a musician. But how he decided to support another person, so even to identify the hypocrisy in the attitude is to look at what has happened with the CDC and the whole political space in the past 3 months. These people they were in this country. Alex Jenica Tyler. Alex Tyler was a member, a governing council member of the CDC, because he was the political leader of the LPDP. All the time Alex Tyler was with the CDC, the opposition community in the country used to call Tyler King Kong, corruption King Kong. They say he a beast someone that pay all the money here. They used to insult Mr. Tyler. That was horrible. We were the same folks on this radio who were saying no. In as much as you think Tyler is corrupt, but the way you address the corrupt allegation regarding Tyler, it's not to cause him beast number, it's not to call him King Kong, it's not to do it. Address the issues and forget about it. Oh no, we used to say that they'll cause all year and oh, you're by a regime man. Oh, which we are not even hiding from. We know that we are regime people. You think we're scared to say it? But what is happening now? The same Tyler man who they used to cause, it was telling them, said, don't cause Tyler, don't cause Tyler. They think don't do it, don't do the one. So their Tyler is with them. He has pledged support to them. Are there any of them pay the United Party youth wing to issue press statement and mention Tyler as a King Kong? They will not do it. So are the allegations against Tyler, are they not existing anymore? Have they vanished? So you see, it has never been about the Liberian people money where they said Tyler stole. No. So they were not causing noise against WIA to establish economic crimes code because they wanted justice for the Liberian people money that, according to them, quote unquote, got missing. They were doing it because they felt a political man like Tyler with support to George WIA, who gave them serious problem in the western part of the country, with the very small number that Tyler presided over in bombing. So all of the time they were fighting Tyler was not because they wanted to ensure that Tyler paid for whatever money that he may have stolen, according to their allegation. It was because they felt that Tyler's presence with WIA will interfere with their chances in Bombay County. Today, Tyler is with them. A serious political party that is claiming to arrest corrupt people when they come to power. 2 years ago, you wanted WIA to bring economic crimes code to put Tyler in jail. Today, Tyler is supporting you. If you are honest about this fight, what you would do as a political party is to have Tyler suspended from all of your political activities because of the quote-unquote, how you call this thing, allegation you have against him. But you know why? They will not do it. They won't do it because an attempt to do so, Tyler will pull back the support, and that will leave them with huge vulnerability in Bombay County, which they're currently at the moment they're currently struggling for it though. But the line here is the hypocrisy associated with the opposition. So when it is not them, Once it has nothing to do with them, once they are not going to be once they will not be on the benefiting end, forget it. It is not in the interest of the country. Once they are not going to be the ones to benefit, whoever will be on the receiving end, that person is an enemy of the country. Why should it be good when it has to do with the Unity Party, but it becomes bad when it is associated with George Weah? That attitude by itself is not politics, it is hatred. And you think people ought to sit and support hatred? You think people ought to sit and allow hatred to survive? No, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. And that's why in the midst of all of these things, sometimes we look at our friends in the media and our friends in civil society and say, look, y'all start hiding behind the civil society nonsense. We know y'all got political side. Forget all your nonsense you say you're hiding behind the media. We know where you were, where you got all of your strength. We know. We know where you got all of your support. We know everything that's making you men. All of the reason why you say you're strong, I mean, everything you think you are today, we know where you got it from. We know how you've been fed. We know how you survive. So to hide under the canopy of being an independent media man, wanting to vilify us, sometimes we look at you with laugh because you are kids. You're cowards. Real men point at their point of interest. They open it, support it, and that's what they do. Don't lie, say there is a law, I didn't lie. You can't do a lie. Oh, you're a big liar. You are. What you can do, have you seen me on this radio station before watching the... do I interfere with the newsroom? No, I don't go to the newsroom. I don't go to the newsroom. I don't even touch the news files. Because that is where an opinion journalist should not be. An opinion journalist should not interfere with the newsroom. Because in the newsroom, you only report what the newsmakers are saying. As an opinion journalist, you make opinions. You have your opinions on practical issues. We are saying these things because we are into the campaign orientation. Beginning next week, we will start to have our 12 hardcore opinions on this platform. I'm only saying it so that by the time we start to do those things, you'll not open your mouth outside there and start talking Fidija. No, you're not doing it. That's why we don't go to the newsroom, because in the newsroom, as a media practitioner, when you're in newsroom, you are under mandate. You are guided by the golden principles of journalism to be accurate, to be balanced, and to be credible. In the newsroom, that's what you apply. You don't misrepresent the facts. You don't misinterpret people's, statement. The newsmakers, all they say is what you grab, and you don't polish. You don't say anything. As an opinion journalist, as a political journalist, as an advocacy journalist, oh yes, you infuse your opinion into the issues, and that's what we do here. And so you find some of our colleagues open their mouth, the damn scary, the eating. The party made the money, the eating ANC made the money, the eating on CDC made the money, because they are so greedy. You go so you eat, you go to that other place, you eat, you do nyama nyama. And so when we are bold on defending the only side we know in this country, they have issue with us. Oh, come you got integrity. Come on, you. Oh, say you're talking about integrity this time. We'll be grabbing your video when y'all go big in the net. Like your video will come and start posting on Facebook these days. Look at the nonsense they did to the KCW. You still want to do that to Casey? You still want to do that to KCW? What has he done? Oh, because he support George Weah, so he say anything again. Look at the kind of musician the book was putting on. Maybe small, let me play the man song small. Let me play the man song small. Yeah, listen to it. The man who made a song that because the man support Weah, they say the man a PC musician. He can sing. Yeah, listen to the song. Listen to it. Listen.
Got problems, relationship now among them. If they want me again, you're the only one I want. All of them now they want my Betty, oh yeah. She wanna see romance, oh yeah. About it so interesting, oh yeah. She get it back from big testing, oh yeah. Falling hard for you, oh yeah. Hard times too, oh yeah. My bad too, oh yeah. When you feeling my bad too, oh yeah. All of them, I love my Betty. Oh yeah. She more than zero mercy. Oh yeah. My body's so interesting. Oh yeah. She get it back from Big Justin. Oh yeah. Darling, I'm for you. Oh yeah. All for you. Oh yeah. My back too. Oh yeah. Are you feeling my back too? Oh yeah. My baby tell me say she love my style. She really wanna be the one to walk down. Let me just die if I ever break your heart. If I ever lie, if I ever leave you, let me bow. Everything going on, you the only one who keeps me coming down. The way you give me peace, I know so you don't ever wanna see me frown. Now they got love I'm looking for, do it anytime. Where you are, where you come from, where you from, come. Son, I must not wanna compare. Sorry, what she doesn't confess. But if you force her to show yourself, she will lay you down flat, that's not bad. That's my baby, yeah. You can blow all your own wrist. That's my baby, yeah, yeah, yeah. All of them, I love my Betty. Oh yeah.
Okay, so listen to that kind of song now.
Oh yeah.
So listen to that kind of song. It's done by KZW. So because this man is supporting the president, so he is not a musician, you're cussing the man on social media. That is the hate you bring to this country. Because George Weah was the proponent of the dual citizenship, situation. He said let Liberians be able to maintain their dual citizenship. Because it came from George Weah, the guys fought it in this country. They went against it. They campaigned against it. Today, the same thing they criticized during the referendum, their children are the ones benefiting. That's not the only song. Let's go back to one of the main other songs. So let's see whether supporting George Weah will stop this man from being a nice musician. Let's see whether that is the case.
Look in your eyes while the sun rises. Makes me know I don't have to lose you to realize. But when I know I can't prepare. You the perfect queen for the boy now. Painting all your pictures in my mind, hope you can visualize. But when I know I can't prepare. See the team and the team where you not do to me. You feel it, cry in my head, man, you feel it, my brain. And I know, sir, what I would do without you. But when let me tell you how I feel, baby. When let me show you the feeling, it's real, baby. But when I wanna take you to your paradise. When every little thing is gonna be cool and nice. But when you ain't gotta worry about nothing. But when you ain't gotta worry about nothing. You're the one special Jew. You can be my one and only boo. I said when, baby, when, yeah.
So tell me, how is that kind of musician going to fail in his musical career because he supports George Weah? What kind of nonsense is that?
Slow down. Julie, what can are you doing? You're the milk in my gari. And your beauty can be loco. You're the sugar in my cocoa. And I know, sir, what I would do if I do. But when let me tell you how I feel, baby. When let me show you the feeling, it's real, baby. But when I wanna take you to your paradise. When every little thing is gonna be cool and nice. But when no one can't, baby, let me talk to you. Oh, you see, Mr. KZW. If you understand my language, you can speak it too. I'm a neighbor boy, who go fire. But you, I can't calculate your beauty. See the way you fall at door, baby. Anything you say, I will do it.
So you tell me, you be the judge, you the Liberian people. I mean, I'm talking to you there listening to the radio. Be the judge. How is supporting we are going to stop this man's career? Now, you see, look, let's say this thing to you in this country. When you think this country is going to burn because people support the president, you're crazy. We just in campaign orientation. The campaign has not started for Freedom Radio Liberia. No. We not started the campaign yet. When we are ready for the campaign, today when we choose to discuss roads, what the opposition plan for roads, what the opposition history for roads, what the opposition doing about roads, when we're ready for that conversation, we'll have it. What the government plan for roads, what the government achievement for roads, what the government is doing about roads. When we are ready for the campaign, those are the issues we'll be taking it from. At the moment, we're into our orientation. And so that's why, as I'll be winding down on this conversation, I'm using this to encourage all of you who support the president to be steadfast. Hello? I'm asking you to be steadfast in your support to the president because the man you support is somebody who was hated long before. He didn't even become a senator when the people started hating him. For those of you who know this platform very well, we have played the voice of Madam Mona Farag time without number on this show. During the course of the campaign, we'll play most of those voices again. We got them here. Mona told us that right after the election, 1 month after the election, they started planning how to ensure that we as government will be disturbed. That should tell you since when they started hating this man. Before he could become senator, the hate was there. There were Liberians who told themselves that under our watch, over our dead body with George Weah become president in the country. So when you support President Weah today, don't expect that people will be happy. Some of the people are even in your churches. I'm saying that because we have understood the political space of the country so well, to the extent that we know everything that is happening in this country on the political front. There are pastors who go to churches these days. They have nothing to say on the pulpit but to criticize and insult the president indirectly. I know that for a fact. But you know why? Most of them hold partisanship with Unity Party or different political parties. Some of you in churches that you cannot openly say you're supporting the president, your church leaders. In some instances, your pastor will get issue with you. Oh, yes, we know that for a fact. Except somebody is not listening, except somebody listening on this platform at this moment, it's not a witness of what I'm saying. There are some of you, when you go to school in your classes, your instructors, some of your instructors are terribly against you mentioning the name George Weah because those teachers are part of a group of Liberians who sworn to their mother Tete water that George Weah should not be seen around the Liberian presidency. So such an individual, even when you go to him and say, hey, Mr. Instructor, this Weah man who you hate for nothing is the one who made it possible that today, Lofa County that never had one piece of quota, you can drive from Banga all the way to Salai. That is George Weah. There are some of you in churches, your church leaders, your pastors. Oh yes, not all the pastors. You got some pastors who know the truth, right? Some of your pastors hate to even see you mentioning the name George Weah because it annoys them to the letter. But maybe someday, somehow, those pastors need to understand that the Weah who they hate so much, who they think should not be, is one person who was able to manage with meager resources in the absence of foreign donations and the presence of the foreign mission that we have here, like Omil. He is the one who was able to connect Ganta to Sanikwele to Lokatuo. Oh, Ganta to Sacré-Pierre is at 95% done. There is an active contract on the road from Sacre-Pied to Tabeta. The last time we told you about a groundbreaking ceremony that took place in Toastown to connect Toastown to Tabeta. These things are happening under 4 years because COVID-19 took 2 years in the country. We were all sitting at home, 3 o'clock, everybody go. We had COVID here, we had curfew. So 2 years, we did nothing with the country. 2 years, the whole earth, nothing happened. Airplane, all of the airport closed down. Grass was growing on some of the airport across the world. 2 years, nobody could do anything because COVID-19 shut the earth down. I know some of you, and that's what I'm saying. Some of you are going through a lot of difficulties in supporting the president. But in the midst of all of the different, how you call this thing? In the midst of all of the different torturing, the different intimidation you go through, the different suppression you receive from your family members, from your church, from your school, from your community, in the midst of it all, you need to be strong. The man you are supporting is not somebody who was liked from the beginning. In 2004, when he had that ambition, when he was told to run for presidency and he accepted, that was when the problem started. Don't think they are causing you today because, no. Some people who causing you, some of them, you are educated past them. Some of the people who causing you, some of them, you got money past them. Some of the people who causing you, some of them, you are good in every capacity more than them. They know that you are better off. They know that they cannot match you. Some of them know that, educationally, they can put forward you. They know that when it comes to writing, they can write past you. When they say talking, they can talk past you. But they are hating on you. They are cursing you. They have issues with you. They don't want to see you. In fact, you give them a chance. They want to kill you, not for anything. Not because they really don't see anything nice in you, but because you are associated with we are. And because you are with we are, that transfer aggression, that anger, that hatred, that malice, that terrible character, that terrible feelings they develop for we are, because you are with we are, they will transfer that to you. You think I'm lying? You see how they go elect Prince Johnson today? They wanted to kill Prince Johnson in 2019. They wanted to kill him in 2020. They wanted to kill him in 2021. You are giving a chance. They would have built for themselves a private prison and put Prince Johnson in jail and handcuff him. And you are giving a chance. They would have done that. Why? Because he was weird. Today, Prince is no longer weird. He's with them. They can jail him. No war crime code again. They don't have the need for war crime code. They see it as nothing. In fact, it is not existing in their book. So for those of you who support the president, from KCW, who is the latest victim of suppression and condemnation because he support the president, to the least of you amongst those who support the president. I'm not going to say sedition because those who support the president are not just seditions. For all of you who support the president, I'm saying this to you. Be aware that they will hate you. They will say nonsense about you. They will call you names. In the midst of it all, you got to stand your ground. That's what I just told you. Some of your teachers will hate for you to mention George Weah. Oh, yes, some of your pastors will hate for you to mention George Weah. Do I need to tell you that some of your imams will have issue with you mentioning George Weah? But in the midst of these things, stand your ground. Because you know why? Although everything is not good in this country, although Liberia is not America, the country is not Europe, everybody not enjoying, which is the case around the world. Everybody will not enjoy in any country all over the world. But in the midst of all of these challenges that we know, we think the best option at about this moment is to give the president the chance. You know why? Because he has proven to be an individual with the ability to do better. If I sit on the radio and say, Joey, I made a country heaven, I would lie to you. Don't believe me any day. I can touch you. I'm evil. If I say that to you, that Joey, I made a country 100% better in milk and honey, I'm a liar. That would be wicked on my part. That would be the highest level of wickedness I will ever do to the country. Was he able to do something significant for the country? Oh, yes. Are some of his government officials terrible? So, of course, some of them are very terrible. Are some of them problematic? Oh, yes. Should they be changed when he is re-elected? Of course, he's going to sack most of them. Oh, yes. Of course, he's going to dismiss most of them. Were there remarkable things done in 4 years of his administration that Liberians can look up to? Oh, yes, too many things. One of those areas has to do with education. What has happened in the educational sector over the period is something that is unmatched. Nobody should fool you that the free tuition policy, look, some countries alone, just free tuition policy is enough for a government re-election. Hello? Some countries on the face of the earth, just to ensure that the citizens will have access to the public universities and community colleges without paying tuition in some countries, that alone is enough for re-election. You know what it means? When you provide the environment where the sons and daughters of the country, I mean the country people children, will have access to the nation's premier university and other community colleges. Do you know what it means? Now let's go back. Do you know how many Liberians were unable to graduate from the University of Liberia because they could not afford ASU scholarship, they could not afford county scholarship, they could not afford politician scholarship, they could not afford the various school fees, and because of that, they dropped from University of Liberia. Today, some of them riding motorbike. Today, some of them going into carpentry that they did not even think about when they were coming out. Do you know how many prominent sons and daughters who would have become better off in the society had they not dropped from the University of Liberia because of tuition? For 5 years, over 27,000 Liberians benefited from the free tuition policy at the state-run university. Of that number, a little around 10 to 15,000 of them today are graduates. They left the University of Liberia without paying 1 single cent towards tuition. Now you think about the ripple effects. You think about what that is causing for the human resource development of this country. You think about it. Think about how many children were being exploited. Think about how many young girls were being forced to sleep with a lot of these heartless individuals just to get school fees. Today at the University of Liberia, at Tottenham University, at Grand Bassa County Community College, at the Nima University, and the different community colleges around the country, that is history. You just need to go and register, and you are done with school fees. Jump in your courses. That policy doesn't look at whether you are a United Partisan before you benefit. No. The policy ain't want to know whether you're part the ANC man before you benefit. No. The policy has nothing to do with your tribe. It doesn't say you should be Gio man, Mana man before you go to UN free. The policy ain't say you should be a Christian, a Muslim, or a traditional man, or it did not say you should be somebody who practice witchcraft activities. No. The policy say you should be a Liberian and a student of that university or community college. Bam, you are eligible. Whether you're part of sedition, your man an ANC woman, for such a policy alone, in some countries, it is enough for re-election. Is that only the policy? The students sit down and go take WAEC. Sometimes these children these days, you got somebody born their children. The children, sometimes they are 2 years apart, 3 years apart. Maybe sometimes the other child fail. The other child can't bother with them. In most of the homes these days, the children sometimes they can be 4 or 5 in one house. They're taking WAEC the same year. In most of the homes these days, the children are 6, 7 in one house. They're taking WAEC the same year. Do you know how much difficulties students went through? Do you know the level of difficulties parents encounter just to raise money for people to go for WAEC? The very opposition people who are against the president's re-election today are themselves beneficiaries of the whole WAEC policy. Some of them, most of them, almost all of them, had a family member who went to the national examination and they had no cost to take money from their pocket to pay for that examination. That's another policy. And these are policies that are unprecedented. That big war is about, it never happened before. In the country, it never happened. It never happened for any president to say, go to UF free. It never happened anywhere. Any president to say, tell YF free. It is unprecedented. 2 policies. You want us to go to Lofa County? In our lifetime, Lofa County is known to be the breadbasket of Liberia. That is where bulk of the agricultural activities happen. We complain that we don't have pepper in Monrovia. We complain that Beta Boy ain't coming again. Vegetables and different crops are expensive on the Liberian market. We complain about almost every little thing happening in the country with reference to food security. But over the period for 170 years, Lofa County has been without road, including the 12 years where their son was the vice president. Hello? We complain in this country that we get pepper from Araco, we take pepper from Guinea, we take pepper from Sierra Leone, and so forth. Oh, yes. Brady complaints. The bread basket of Liberia has been cut off from the country since Pope was an utter boy. The we are who Benedict can be causing you, those of you who supporting him. It is that we are who is connecting Bond County from Banga heading towards Bunjima. At the moment, the road is around the Salae district. It has crossed the Lofa Bridge. The boundary between Bond County and Lofa County is no longer dusty. The quota has entered the soil of Lofa. And somebody cursing you and telling you why you're voting for Joe Weah. Tell them you're voting for Weah because the second term will take the road from Salae and push it to Bunjima. And at the end of the day, it is going to go to Menikoma, passing through Foya district and go to the Sierra Leone border. That's what you should tell them. Or do I need to mention something else? Do I need to mention how Liberia as a country, the whole big country, a big wild country, for 170 plus years, the gateway to the nation's economy is the National Port Authority, specifically the Free Port of Monrovia. The free port of our country, the whole NPA has been operating in a continuous structure as head office of that entity for 170 years. The George Weah who been the causing you in the country said don't support him is the one who made it possible for the free port to have a modern headquarters. It is happening under Weah. Oh yeah, but when you go to school, some of your professors there who are part of those who say Weah should not be around the presidency will look at you. Some of them won't fail you because you're supporting Weah. Some of your pastors, then by the time they see you in church, I think they can start preaching against George Weah. Because those pastors, either before they became pastors or while they are pastors, they form part of a group of Liberians who say Weah should not be seen around the presidency. Do I need to mention the progress being made towards ensuring that the southeastern part of our country will be connected to Greater Liberia? The major challenge confronting the southeastern corridor is the rain. There is an active contract between Fishtown in River G to the first Kawiakin. I mean, yeah, the first Kawiakin from the Maryland side. And that is the Paipo Kawiakin. There is an active contract from Fishtown to Kawiakin that's supposed to connect it. There is another project. There is another project from that Kawiakin that's supposed to go to another. There is another project that's supposed to leave from that Kawiakin to go to the Kelipo Kawiakin, which is at the boundary between Grand Jida and River G. That part of the road, the contract has been secured. The money is available. The rain is interfering with the contractors. That's why we are having it the way we are having it. You bring Devin Passing as president, they will not find new money for that road because the money already there. You bring Devin Man today as president, that road from Fishtown to Kelipo Kawiakin, they will not find new money because the road money already there, the contractor already there. They're just waiting for good weather to do most of the roads and be done. Since the weather ain't good, most of the things they're doing now, they are building covers that cover the building. They're trying to direct the water. That's why they're into, but the rain giving them trouble. The next progress is taking Ganta and connecting it with Simple Place, the Sacre-Pied. And that is the road towards the southeast. That project is about 95. The part of the road, when I get quota, between Ganta to Sacre-Pied, is like from Central Monrovia, Central Monrovia to maybe 9th Street is too far. Maybe Central Monrovia all the way to City Hall. That could be the distance that is not with quota. From Sacre-Pied to Tabata, the contractors already got the money. The project is already on. They were expanding the road. They're trying to put cross route on some of the segment. Again, the rain is giving them trouble. So you even made the remain president. Weah has already secured money to do the road from Ganta all the way to Tostown. Money was secured for it. But one thing you need to know, that the money to have secured, the money that was secured to do the road from Ganta to Tostown, those funds were generated under 4 years. It took Liberia 170 years, and that corridor between Ganta and Fishtown was never done. Gracefully, we're able to, as a country, gather the resources to do it. So yes, although everything not okay in the country, but on the part of road, he has done significantly well. Bulk of these people who hate you to the letter because you support the president, most of them live in Johnsonville. Bulk of them live Puebloan community. Most of them live Mount Barclay towards Johnsonville. Ask them. For the past 20, 25, 30 years, some of them had their houses in Johnsonville. Their houses were there. They were renting in Monrovia. Their houses were in Johnsonville. They were renting in Cinco. They were renting Red Light. They were other places because they could not go to Johnsonville where they had their properties. Today, they all left their rental houses in Greater Liberia. They've moved to Johnsonville because a George Weah, who they say you should not support, was able to remove the dirty road from Johnsonville and put a quota on it today that you can drive from Monrovia and go to Johnsonville. You can leave Johnsonville when you vex. You won't go Red Light. You use Pipeline Road that used to be rocky. You can pass on the Pipeline Road and go to Red Light. If you don't want to use Red Light side, you won't go straight to Fendel. You can pass from Johnsonville Turning Point, go through Mount Barclay and bump to the Marding guest house. Between Mount Barclay and the Gorbachev area, and you find your way to Coca-Cola factory and onwards towards Fendel. The Weah, who they say you should not support, was able to do that. And somebody is still cussing you. They got mind to go take cases. The way you say the decision he made is stupid, he not get sense. Oh, the state got the mind to do that, right? The political capital of Nima County is Saniquelec. The political capital of Nima County is Saniquelec. You know what? Ganta is booming and developing Saniquelec because Ganta is where Liberia Road stopped. When the road came from Monrovia, it stopped Ganta. Before the war, the road stopped Ganta. After the war, the road stopped Ganta. 12 years, the vice president being in this country, with her United Party, the road was in Ganta. Somebody said they renovated it to go to Ganta, no problem. But why you supposed to be doing 12 years? To be sitting and eating free money? So that's a different argument, right? The Weah who they say you should not support is the one who was able to use his administrative skills to say, look, ArcelorMittal, instead of you pumping the money into one country account where one senator will grab the money and tracking your freedom with a war history and go and divide the money and eat it, the country not benefit, put the money on the road. Make sure that Ganta is connected to Saniquelec. Make sure that Saniquelec is connected to the Lokatuo area. Let the road go to Lokatuo, through Campley. Ensure that from Saniquelec to Yegepa, let that road be done. What is it at the moment? You can drive from Ganta to Saniquelec in less than 15 minutes if you are a reckless driver. When you won't be careful, that 25 minutes you're on the road from Ganta to Saniquelec. The road is 100, at least for the Ganta to Taglapie, is 95% done. The road from Ganta to Saniquelec is 100% done. The Weah who they're causing, the Weah who they can cost you on a daily basis, they're telling you Nyama Nyama was the one who succeeded in taking the road at that level. From Saniquelec to Yegepa, the progress is on. The machine is still going. They're still clearing the road. Weah government gave that instruction to ArcelorMittal, and they themselves are making money available to have it done. A second term for George Weah will see the road leaving from Saniquelec going to Yegepa up to the mountains. So you can drive in one small car from Monrovia. If your hometown is Yegepa, you go to Yegepa, you come back the same day. That is the Liberia we see Weah giving us. That is the Liberia we find George Weah creating for us. That is the Liberia that we see for which we are supporting George Weah. So when you support the president, and these individuals are causing you and they're saying nonsense about you, Don't be deterred because you are on the right side of history. They know the fact. They know a bunch of them who lived in Saniquele before, bunch of them who are from Saniquele, they know that it is George Weah's administration that is taking the road to those places. They know it is the Weah's administration that made most of them to move back to Johnsonville where they live. They know, a lot of them who live Bonneville, today they can no longer go through the hurdles or ride into Bonneville Junction. They have a bypass that they can use through Patient Shop. From Patient Shop, from Simako, they can go to Tusafi and go in the estate. They can pass the Patient Shop and go in the estate. They can pass the Town Hall Road and go in the estate. They have multiple choices. You know why? Because a Weah who they insulted was able to do it. The man who they're insulting you for said, don't support him. Go to Invisible Park today. Ask all those who practicing right now on the Invisible Park, ask them for the political party ID card. You not find Unity partisan ID cards and money. You anywhere you see me, tell me not to come to Liberia. No. The issue is not about beating on a particular group of people. But when people are fighting you because you support the president, and some of you, so not everybody got thick skin, right? Some of you support the president, by the time you go talk to the president somewhere, it's, I support the man, you're fully people, then you get shamed. You go in your corner. You don't want to come out again. No! They have no moral ground to question your decision to support the president. They don't have that right. You know why? Because the president, although things are not the way everybody wanted to be, Liberia is not like America, the country ain't good 100%, but there are tremendous progress being made by the president that we need to identify. The hydro that Manaseli built, and I would say there's all the good projects on the Manaseli that Manaseli was said do it because Bwanka said all the bad things that Manaseli do it, so all the good things that Manaseli do it. The hydro Manaseli built could not electrify this whole country. Monrovia said was a challenge. That hydro could not do it. Good, we fought hard with the CLSG line. She managed to initiate the process. The Weah who they say you should not support, Weah did not say, that Ellen started talking about the CSG or something. Weah sent someone to Aracos to pay $60 million in installment. Today, community like Chikizu Factory that had no dream of having current, they got current today. Almost every small community in the country, people playing in light poles. Yes, the country not bread and butter the way we want it, but progress has been made. Do we need to mention the Roberts International Airport Road? You enter whole country. The road small, just one farm road. Nowhere to plan airport because the road too narrow. The road is dark. Nothing correct on it. The George Weah what they can insult you for on a daily basis is the one expanding the road. I was joking with somebody. I said, by the way the road wide, small airplane can lay on the road. I hope some of the pilots will not mess the wrong way one day, God forbid, and use our road. The reason why you should not listen to them when they tell you not to support the president is that you need to tell them we are supporting him so that the road that has started, that wide road are going to the airport, so that his second term will ensure that our road will go to the airport from a wider perspective. What else do you need? Maritime been renting for one family, St. Rack H's, paying one family heavy money every year for rent. Maritime today is with their own headquarters. The National Security Agency been up Mama Point paying money to one private family on a daily basis every month, giving government money. Today, the Weah who they say you should not support under his administration, a brand new NSA headquarters was built in Caldwell, the Louisiana area. Now, so you see, when these insults are coming to you, I know it hurts. And I told you, has my fully men can look out and put more on. So when they will get sense part them, we can talk part them, we popular part them, but they just look out and put more on because you know why? They hate the president, so they take the hatred from the president, they add it to us. We don't care about that. And that's what I'm saying to you, as a supporter of the president, you got to be firm, you got to be steadfast because you will encounter this criticism. You will. Those criticisms, you will encounter them. Some of the people that who you can even feed, some of them that they beg you for assistance. But because they hate we are, so they take the hatred from him. They add it to you. That's why they hate you. They don't hate you because you're not good. I bet you support their side today. They will start impressing you. So when the people who got problem with you today for supporting we are, just tell them, say, okay, I will not support we are. Let me support your candidate. They will start to wash your clothes. In fact, they're calling you criminal right now. They will not call you criminal. They will start calling you sin. They will start calling you reverend. We'll take our break. We come back, we take calls. That's what we do. Let's take our break. When we come back right here, we take calls. Hold on. Let's take our break. Quickly. Let's take our break. When we come back, we take calls, my people. But that's the irony of our society. Yeah, that is the irony. The one where you're not on the side, they say all of the nonsense about you. But by the time you start to support them, then they call you sin. KCW should not be bothered. Let's take our break to be right back.
The people bringing safety to your door. Stopping crime and making peace for them before. Stop for Liberia, from the center to interior. Keeping us safe, let's stop for all.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own Omen Sam Sign.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stop.
Okay, so welcome back to the program. My name is Khan Oliver Khan KOK right here on 87.9. Yeah, let's have the conversation. When you call me, please. Campaign time. Forget all that calling from the other team, movement from the other team. You know, want other team. You call me, call us. Let's have the conversation right here on 87.9. We don't have the luxury of time. Let's go over to our people. The message is you support the president. There are people who will say bad things about you because you support the president. They will hate you because you support the president. The day you start to support them, they will like you. Eugene Fagon was a deputy minister in this country, defending the president, defending the government. In fact, they were the ones pushing for Fagon to go to jail. In fact, when Fagon went to jail, Sudbury, they were celebrating. Eugene Fagon went to jail. Today, Fagon is with them. They call him a saint. Is Fagon no longer a terrible man? That is how insincere they are. That's how hypocritical they are. And that's why you need to be decisive in making decisions. Let's go and take the calls on 886-500-104, 776-104-104, plus 231-886-500-104 for our international callers. Let's take the first person. Go ahead. 1 minute. Hello, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I am Paul Bishop Dennis, calling from Freedom FM.
Paul Dennis, go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I'm calling from Freedom. I'm sorry, sir. Yeah, I just want to ask what you're saying concerning people insulting people. You know, every day I sit in Jersey and I go everywhere. I see people insulting people.
Oh my God.
Sometimes we talk about the president trying to insult you.
Oh yeah.
And I was like talking about the president, and few people started to insult me. But I people who is in like sexy, who is in like PC, the data was wrong. So all their problems on the president, and so that the spirit that's saying it. So I just went out of the.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, my brother. We'll leave you right there. Let's take this other person. Go ahead, quickly.
My name is Marvin Matthew. I come from
Puebla. Puebla, Marvin. Puebla, you never had road down there for the past 6 years. Tell me the truth.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
They all had with that. We had road, but it was bad. It was very ugly. And let me be real, you okay? people are still defeating the fact that this war has been dealt by the president. You see, we are so heartless. And we don't support this president. We just hit. I don't know the name George Weah. In my community, they see me having on me. The morning when I talk about George Weah, they can get what gives me if I get things. It's
you got to stand your line. You got to stand your ground. That's what they will do. They don't hit you. By the time you support them, they will start celebrating you.
So we will not relate. We will not resist our action by supporting the president. We will always be with George Weah and we'll make sure he gets one round victory. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We leave you. We take this other person. Go ahead. 1 minute.
Yeah, thanks, Amir. And I join you from the national headquarters of the Martin Coalition of Democratic Change, the capital headquarters.
Go ahead, sir.
And I call you as a member of media and communication. And let me say thanks, Amir, to you and the entire workforce of Philadelphia. Two things I want to look at quickly. And those who are saying because ordinary people treatment, wire fees were paid and school fees were paid, you can't pay any money to go to school. Then somebody say you are stupid. Those who are referring to people to be an ingrate in this part, I think they are the stupidest group of people. Now, to Casey Derry, it is on record here in Liberia. There are many musicians there. I do not want to get involved for me in the argument on our homonyms, the fallacy or name calling about them supporting other political parties in this country. So when they have it right, who can go sing for them? Who can be singing for them? They are musicians. But the issue is we as CDC who do not care about who sings for who. All we want to see is that the best. I mean, so it gets it that when you talk in his mouth, because even in music, people can politics in music. Why are they trying to shy away? What we say about Logan Doobie, you are a politician, but the way you do your own politics, you do it in music. The other people do their own politics that they will take the shadow of comedian. So, no, so you see him, and I love the way you put it. Thanks, Mr. President. We are one round victory is setting. Thanks, other workers. Thanks to everybody there.
We leave you right now. Testimony. Let's take this other person. Go ahead quickly. 1 minute.
Hey, you can you getting me?
We're getting you. Go ahead.
Yeah, with them getting football defender.
Go ahead.
Now you tell it all. Like you said, oh, get this thing. Because all that thing and lying aside, when you're supposed to and then you're going to be. But now what I want to say is that we as Christians, we are patriots and we are nationalistic. What I said is that you talk about something like Jebo. When Senator Jebo was somebody in the party, in that 2 years, everybody thought what he know. They make that start to support. They are going to say, you get a right to go anywhere you want to go. To be a Christian, to be a Muslim, to be a Buddhist. They want to broken so say. Someone when you criticize somebody, so me, they are distracted and they kind of level they brought up and we are. There's not a good thing to do. You see it? You see it?
Thank you.
So we don't want to ask somebody to power to go to get testing. You know, when you only on the website, and you're nobody. So let's see them because let's do two of the winnings out the wheel and a whole. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll leave you. We'll take this other person. Go ahead, sir. Let's hear you. What's your name?
Okay. How you doing?
We're great, sir. What's your name, Chief?
My name is Emmanuel W. Wade. I'm calling from Factory.
Emmanuel, go ahead quickly.
My man, we don't need to talk more about these people. We know their work. We know what all they are about to do. They don't have no message to give out in Liberia. So all they have to do is to go against people whenever you make a decision to say you want to elect President George Manuel Weah for the second time. They will come to you and say you waste time, you are child, you don't have future, you are child, you die with property. We know them. That word rescue that they have behind them is to rescue their packet and give their brother and sister free tuition to go in the Western world to go to school. Yeah, why poor people children are dying and why they want to do the war. One point will be taking $10,000 per month or why? So get it down, you should remind them. Okay. Then just sing the music, we all will play it, we'll promote him, we'll do every necessary thing that will make him to go up top. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you right there. Let's take this other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. Let's hear you.
Sir, out of my car. How
Yep.
you doing? This is Prince Paul calling from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Philadelphia Prince from the U.S. Go ahead. Let's hear you, Chief.
Yeah, I'm so excited today because Jacobson Reha, or Sir Jacobson Reha, now my mom is on an electric city. I'm so excited for that. Then I don't know what this opposition coming from with all those gibberish and saying stuff all the time. So we're backing up. Thank you.
Thank you very much from Philadelphia, the United States. Let's leave and take this other person from Liberia. Go ahead quickly. 1 minute.
Yeah, good evening, Chief.
Good evening, Chief. Let's hear you.
Hello?
Hello, sir. Go ahead. 1 minute. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Isaac Woods and joining the question if you're from the Clarita.
Go ahead, Isaac.
You know, President Khan, I want to thank you for your analysis this evening. And Monday before I called you, posted on his Facebook page that people should go follow KCW. And unfortunately for him, KCW follower got into case. So I don't know if it was a promotion or a demotion or anything. But you know, President Khan, I am a patient of the support of President Weah. I feel around there is a day that I went behind the GFK and then he said call me to buy for me. And then when I set my megaphone down, he saw the Freedom FM, Freedom Hub flyer sitting on the megaphone. And decided not to buy for me because I am a follower of Freedom Radio. And Freedom Radio is a supporter of President Weah. So when we are not there, we will support this president till we see him come our victory.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You see that because the guy had a flyer of Freedom Radio Liberia. So somebody said they will not buy from him because Freedom FM supports the president. And because he's with the flyer, say he supports the president. So the president said the president already called him to buy from him. But because they identify Freedom sticker and they know that Freedom is supporting the president, so they choose not to buy from him, although they needed it. How I wish that wish he was selling was something that could save their family life. Let's see whether you would have, refused to buy that medicine that's supposed to save your family life because the person who was selling it is connected to George Weah. So you see how devilish they are? You see how funny the thing is? Let's take this other person. Go ahead, 1 minute. Hello, go quickly, ma'am. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
I want to tell you something you started on. You see, we are less to party. Sometimes you might pack went to people at CTC party and tell them, y'all come for me. I will say I election to that day. After the song over 12 years, and it's we party. What do we used to go? All people into CTC party. They will tell you, what up? We never on it. We used to go CTC for water. They used to pump up for water. Sometimes you might black out. But you see those Carolinians, that is CTC party that are coming, that is CTC party. These are the people that are not in front of President Weah. We all are something that went through in our CTC party. No water, no quarry. So their President Weah, they are quarry. They are air in their houses. So they have food. They are up and stop from their houses. And President Weah cannot come. But we are even having a head to go to our houses. So then we are better tested. But no evil Carolinians that stand over and are called themselves Carolinians in me. That those people are the father in our CTC party.
Okay.
But no matter what they will do, President Weah settled there must be. Thank you.
We leave you right there. We take this other person. Go ahead, 1 minute, quickly.
Yeah, good evening. Okay.
Good evening, Mandia. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Peter, and today I'm calling for the most popular street right now. It's Street Thinker.
Go ahead.
I just think for the conversation this evening. You see, those of us that already know the attitude of the unity partisans, we are not surprised when they are trying to criticize people and stuff like that. I think we watch them insulting and saying all kind of things to the ARP, to Costa. So all these people have been supporting them before. Even today, there's somebody talk about Eugene Fagon. Eugene Fagon that today is hosting JMB in America. They said a lot of things there about him. Even Prince Johnson, they said so many things about him today. They are worshiping and singing praises beyond those people. So it's not surprising. The comments I love about Casey Derry is that with all their insults and other things, he is so proud of his decision. And that is something I commend him for. Well, in life, whenever you try to do something, no matter what people say, you focus and do the right thing. So I think he is doing the right thing. This is why we show all our love to him. We support his music. Casey Derry have been making a lot of good music. He's one of my favorite artists in Liberia. So, they even make it to get more popular in the country. And we appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We'll go to the U.S. and take this other person. Go ahead. Let's hear you quickly.
Thank you, KOK.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, my son, for the program, and thank you for the topic on our discussion.
Okay.
This is a clear indication that if we sit down and allow these people to come to power, that how they're going to hunt our children, they don't mean well. So the president is under the ring this afternoon from Liberia because it's in the morning hour to me here. He under the ring and he going around and telling Liberian citizens, he said, I'm educating your children because it's what they told me about education. I am building your country. I came from nowhere. And your children can be like me tomorrow. And he warning us that if you carry me, don't leave the senators behind. Take everything and put it under your feet because why? They are your laws maker. When I say anything in the Senate, I say I want for the children to be having free food, that these people will pass the law. But if you carry I alone and leave my people behind, leave my tail behind, I will not be able to fight for you. It's an open eye to every Liberian. Okay, we went through the same thing in this country. That we live in the US until Obama took power. That where we knew that we were free with the African. Sometimes when you talk about all the things, people can say, oh, you're breaking tribalism, you want to bring division. But those things are real. Racism. You hear me?
Okay.
Why would you despise somebody because of their affiliation? It happy that when you were talking KOK before I can leave you, my son, it brought tears in my eye. In the great United States, there are Liberian churches like here. Pastor go and lay down on the pulpit and they said they pray against this president. Do you love the country? In this United States, Liberian churches. Someone in there myself we can't walk. And I turn around and say, guess what? Go and read the Bible. What the Bible say about the Pharisee and the tax collector.
Okay, thank you.
God will not answer your prayer. Thank you so much, my son.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you right there. We'll leave you. Let's take this person. Go ahead. 1 minute. Where do you join us from?
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
This is Samuel S.A. I'm calling from Finsbury.
Go ahead, Mr. Say.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I did a post today. I said in my post, I said, Georgia do not need Liberia, but rather we need Georgia. So we will do all we can. You know, the good thing about it is that as the lady who just left the land said, pastors are praying. Those pastors, some of us are even more righteous than them. God will hear our own prayer more than they, because we are honest and we are striving to do the right thing. But this time, okay, we will do all we can. President Weah is going to win the election one round. Trust me, okay, there will be no FAN. I am saying it now. President Weah will win this election first down one round. And the signs are on the wall. They know it. And will support him to the core to make sure that he gets re-elected. We're not going to alley while our parents did to Samuel Doe in the time. While the development was going on, they jumped behind. Some of them were criminal, some of them were raw. They went and brought problems to this country. And we see the development all over the country. So leave Georgia and follow who? It's too disingenuous if I even think about it. Georgia will win this election. Trust me, KOK. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you right there. Let's take this other person. Go ahead, sir. What is the name? Where do you join us from?
Yeah. Good evening, KOK. This is Papa from Cardwell.
Cardwell. Let's hear
What's up, man? How are you doing this evening?
We are great, Chief.
You know, KOK, these guys are sick. If they are so mad with KCW, then let them stop the children from going to the schools that are offering free tuition, the colleges that are offering free tuition. In their horses, KOK, they are so mad, let them cut off the core in the new generator. If they are so mad, KOK, let them park on the car and walk on the sidewalk, don't walk on the roads as we constructed. KOK, these guys are sick. One round. Thank you, brother.
We'll leave you right there. We go to this other person. Let's take you, Pap. Go ahead.
KOK.
Pap, here we are talking about. Let's hear you, Pap.
KOK, my son. Well, you hear your head. I beg you, you hear your selfish now, man. The man already in that chair. No matter what they say, what they do, what they talk, nothing. The man is in that chair. Don't bother yourself. May God bless you this evening.
Thank you very much. Amen. We leave you, Pap. Here we are talking about. We'll leave you right there. Let's take the next 3 callers. Then we call your day on today's edition We return here on tomorrow with more and more of the information you need. Tomorrow, we're going to be selecting one of the sectors. We may choose roads. We may choose to talk education. We may choose to talk some other issues, but specifically what the president has been able to do with the road sector. I mean, that conversation is going to be held. On a daily basis, we choose a particular subject matter and run into it. But let's take this question. Go ahead. 1 minute. What's your name?
Yes, my name is Gordon T. Quiet, and I'm from Omega Community.
Omega Community, Gordon. Go ahead, sir. You got to speak directly to your phone. You're coming in fainted.
Hello, get me now?
I'm getting you.
I said it happened in Ghana to the greatest division in Ghana. Soccer, they're doing the Ghana election. When they started there, dogs, Ghana will go to Adu. Even though it was the greatest division, people say that for me, that the dogs, Ghana will go to Adu. But what I can say to shake it, that stay focused. Even as for what you say is very true, because in the school, they tell you us. Even in Ghana, we stay on school bus with us. And for me, I don't care. We are there. I can tell people that know the vision and supporting we are here. I can never change for that. No amount of work. Even my mom in the house, it's a black out woman. I don't care. The ones about people on the street who don't see me, who don't do anything for me, who don't trust me. I don't care. So thank you for the show.
Okay. Thank you very much. We'll leave you right there, my brother. We'll leave you and take the next the next two callers quickly. Then we call it a day. Let's take this question. Go ahead. 1 minute.
Everyone can be Sufu Kamara calling from
Chikizu Fatre, go ahead, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, everyone will not be the chair. I will have people, local people that are supporting this president because you know how well the president has living good character and tolerance in society. So for most of us that are supporting him, we agree based on the agenda the president is carrying on. So all we can do right now is to encourage other people to see how best we get a re-election of President Weah come to 2010 this year.
Thank you.
So we encourage the other people to be more active. Then they forget about how people call they have credit out there. All we can do is just encourage one to encourage another one to vote the president. Thank you all so much.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you right there. We'll take this other person. Go ahead. 1 minute.
Yeah, okay, how you doing, Baba?
We're great. Quickly.
Yeah, okay, today I'm feeling well, man.
We're sorry about that, man. CC, we should speed the recovery. The president coming to your community tomorrow.
Yeah, they're not feeling well. I'm not a waste there for Baka Sam doing it. I know. My whole back there to me. Yeah, I'm not able to sit on my back.
No, I want witchcraft. Not witchcraft. You got to take treatment.
Okay, what I want to say, okay, the people are talking about their rescue team and they want to condemn their board as taking. They make your staff because they mess up with the judge. They want to condemn it that you're not taking or you're not a staff. That will be a joke. The people want to support people, then they get the copy for them. But when they come to the other side, then they get angry. Why they get angry with this man? Then your man, you already doing this, you already made life. Why they get angry with your man because he's going on judge the side? That man is a leader. You want to go from the side, and that leader, you know, go for them or go on the side because you want to kind of be that I know that place, they call something. So they have people that will get them to hospital. We should do the other day. When I hear for that, they put one to look for. Yeah, okay, you are here. When they met for them before the lover and was taking place for President Weah and someone for that. They saw a let me see what I mean. You couldn't say anything. So people say, so you're what you're doing. That's what they never play with so. That make it not get advice for people for a camp and cast out and can not do that. But what happened to our side is they will come and cast our people. And we agree with them. That's why you're talking about. We are the driving seat. We can't go through a rat. Ain't no out there. Then when they come back to us, then they glasses them taking to the window. We're not here for that. First person, we have new well. That person, we have for sale. We're not walk up in the election. We'll go to the process peaceful.
Okay.
Will come the step on here.
Thank you very much.
You can make it when he says the conference. When you start my phone, they get our chance here. Thank you.
Yeah, man, CC. We'll leave you right there. We'll leave you right there, man, CC. And that will bring today's edition to an end.
Falling hard for you, hard times to hold you.
like KCW is being criticized. If you are a supporter of Mr. President out there, I keep telling you, they will hit you in your school. They will curse you on the buses. They will say too many things to you anywhere you are. Some of them will be brave to take God's pulpit and preach against the president on the pulpit. Not because of the things, that are genuine, but because they belong to a certain particular institution that got issues with the president. But here is a situation you need to know. In the midst of all of these things, you got to remain firm because they've been hating this man long before you even started supporting him. Your own family members. The reason for this platform, this identical edition, is to encourage you. During this campaign time, they will say all kinds of pitija to you. The tabata will be enough. In the end, you got to be strong. Be like KCW. This song is called
If you force her to show yourself, she will lay you down flat. That's not fair. That's my bad.
And trust me, I want to call it, but I don't want it to I don't want to mispronounce it.
Baby, yeah.
You know when you call it, there's a way you call woman. You won't pet the woman with petty. I'm a petty there. So that's what it is. His name is KCW. You don't have to allow their criticism weigh you down. This president you are supporting was dealt with before. They told him before, say, what kind of black man? He can do nothing in Italy. He went ahead and became the world best. Conquered the earth. They told him before, they make him be nothing good in presidency. He's the one making their children to go to free schools in this place. He had to criticize. They told him that he would be nothing else. But he's the one taking Nimba all across Nimba. He's the one taking Nimba to Granji there. Too many things happening in the country. We'll return here on tomorrow. My name is Khan Oliver Kine. Until we do, appear on the platform on tomorrow, hopefully when Princess will be with me. It has been a wonderful, wonderful edition. Ibrahim Kamara was at controls. Until then, we return.
Oh my God, nobody love you like me. Nobody care like me. If only you could see. From my heart to your heart, but your love is enough for me. I don't need nobody, please. Only you can turn me. I know, with the love I can turn my feet. Feel like say I be losing my thing. To be honest, you're the one for me. I know, with the love I can turn my feet. Feel like say I be losing my thing. To be honest, you're the one for me. Peace of mind, but I need some peace of mind. That I want that peace of mind. Would you give me that peace of mind? Peace of mind, that I want some peace of mind. Would you give me that peace of mind? That I need that peace of mind.